Hi guys, and here's 5 rules you constantly get wrong for Middle-earth strategy battle game. Hi guys, how we doing? Top Table Steve here. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the top 5 rules that you get wrong for Middle-earth strategy battle game. Before we get started, if it is your first time on the channel, please do consider clicking the subscribe button. We have a load of content in our back catalogue and loads of really cool stuff coming to you very, very soon, so you're not going to want to miss out. And if you also click the bell button, you'll be notified every time we release a new video. Another thing to do if you are new here is check out our Facebook group. I'm very biased, as I say all the time, but I think it's one of the best gaming groups on Facebook. We are very blessed to have 1,600 people and 1,600 of the very best, most cool people that you can think of. It's full of hobby, it's full of painting, it's full of gaming, it's full of tactics, and just basically full of guys having fun, getting to know each other and making friends. So get over there and join the group, and it'll be an absolute pleasure to get to know you a little bit more. So without further ado, let's get stuck into these top 5 rules that you're constantly getting wrong in Middle-earth strategy battle game. Number 1. Backing away from combat 1 full inch. Now we see this all the time, and 99.9% of the time it is just an oversight, but it's something that is good practice to get into the mentality of making sure that you adhere to this rule as it should be played, because it will just make things a lot clearer if you ever play in tournaments, and it just makes the game a lot fairer also. During the combat phase, if one of your models loses on the duel roll, you must back away 1 full inch. It's always nice to have an inch marker so you can double check, because if you can't back away a full inch, you are trapped. So if you're not backing away that full inch, you could be taking away benefits that your opponent should have, and nobody wants to do that. We want to play fair and square. So get yourself a measuring stick or widget which has an inch marker on it. I always make sure that my widgets have an inch marker on them, just to double check that when I back away I can get away a full inch. Number 2. If your army contains a legendary hero, he is the leader of your army. And what a lot of people will forget, and it does state it in the rule book under the heroic tier section, that the first time of asking that you need to make a courage check for standfast with your leader, you automatically pass the first time. Don't forget this, because we can all do it and roll really badly on that first roll, and it is an absolute nightmare if you lose your leader. So the first time of asking, when your force is broken, your leader, if he's a legendary hero, gets to pass that automatically, and then also his standfast is automatic for all the people around him. We're going to stick with standfast for number 3, and number 3 is one that a lot of people forget. I see this being forgotten all the time, and I myself have been guilty of this in the past, that I really do try and remind myself of constantly. If your force is broken and you have to take standfast rolls for your heroes, the standfast rule is anyone within 6 inches of that hero's area of effect. If they pass their courage check, automatically passes their courage check. It's due to being inspired by the sight of their leader. Now, phrasing the sight of their leader is key here. They have to have line of sight. So not only just being in 6 inches is a factor for getting the standfast, they have to be able to see the leader that is within 6, otherwise they don't get the benefit of that leader's standfast. Number 4. Number 4 is one that generally doesn't make a huge amount of difference. It can do if you're all coming on the board at the same time, but it's to do with Maelstrom of Battle. So in Maelstrom of Battle, for any of you new players who are not too sure, you don't deploy as normal in deployment zones on the board. You roll to come on at the start of your move phase on turn 1. You then pick a point on the board edge that you've rolled for to see if you come on, and you walk on from that point. Now, time after time, I will see people walking shield walls onto the table. This is not possible if you walk on from one point. If you walk on from one point and you have a wall of warriors that is 10 inches, if they all walk on 10 inches from one point, that will be a semicircle, not a straight line. It's to do with maths. I don't know much about it, but just be careful of that in the future, because if you're coming on and you've got 2 lines, you've got a line that is hitting an enemy that is already on the board, you could have an unfair advantage by having your full line in a defensive shield wall when really it should be a semicircle. So again, number 5 is a fiddly one. It's to do with control zones. So if you have 2 enemy models that are stood next to each other and one of them is in combat, you have one of your models who you want to also charge into the same combat, This may not be possible because as soon as that enemy model is in combat with your friendly model, they lose their control zone. But the enemy model that is stood next to them doesn't. And the rules state that as soon as you enter a control zone, you must charge that model. So you will have to pass through the second model's control zone, which means you have to charge him also. So you will have to charge the two. Now you can overcome this when it comes to pairing off in the combats, but it is something to consider when placing models around enemy models as if to trap them. There are some things that you need to adhere to before you're able to do so. And that's it, guys. That's 5 of the rules that I've just come up with. There are plenty more, and I may do some more videos like this if you'd like to see them. Has any of the things that I've spoke about in this video come up in games? Were you unaware of any of them? Do comment below and get involved. Is there any rules that I may have missed that I can pop in the next video? Please do get involved. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure, and don't forget all our links below, especially big thank you to our patrons who make these videos possible, and the Facebook page. Get over there, it's an amazing place to be. Guys, I've been Steve. Keep washing your hands, and I'll see you all later.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope you've enjoyed it. Here at Top Table Gaming, we love bringing you content that you are going to enjoy. So don't forget, check out everything else on the channel. Have a bit of a look around before you disappear and watch your next video. We've got everything from unboxings, product reviews, battle reports, and everything else in between. So do have a good look around. Now, I do want to, before we carry on, give a huge shout out to our patrons, which you should be able to see on screen. Without them, we couldn't do any of this. They help us fund the lights, the kits, the studio, and everything that is helping us create content and push forward for you as a channel. We don't hide the content behind a paywall, but we do have benefits such as free dice and free t-shirts for our patrons as a way of us giving back, as well as regular giveaways. So if that sounds good to you, do go and check out the Patreon page, link in the description below. And before you guys head out, make sure you head over to the Top Table Gaming community on Facebook. We've got over 1,500 members now, and it is such an excellent community that you should totally be a part of. Check out these videos on screen now, and until next time, enjoy your hobby.